guys.
Hey.
Where are you at?
We're at the beach.
In Hawaii. Go.
Wow. Okay, love you, Mom. Okay, love you, Mom.
Once I was 7 years old, my mama told me, go make yourself some friends or you'll be lonely. Once I was 7 years old. It was a big, big world, but we thought we were bigger. Pushing each other to the limits, we were learning quicker.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So I realized after I uploaded my video about Chance Hunt, I forgot to read the description in the coroner's report. So let me read that real quick, and then I'm going to play the couple videos that Tecia uploaded after Gannon first went missing. I'm sure you guys all heard about the candle video where he's crying and he's upset and she's talking about like, oh, promise me you didn't do it on purpose and we got to figure out how we're going to pay for the damage and blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to play that for you, and then I'm also going to play the surveillance footage from when Gannon left and never came home. Okay, so Chance Hunt, Harley's dad and Leticia's ex. So the description of incident leading to his death says, Chance MacArthur Hunt, age 34, of 96 Shiloh Road, Lumberton, North Carolina, was found to be deceased on Thursday, October 2nd, 2014 at 7 a.m. at the Tri-County Inn, number 127. The coroner's office was notified of the death at 5:42 a.m. by dispatch of the Butler County Sheriff. The story given to the Butler County Coroner's Office at the scene was the decedent has been in the area working at GE, Evandale, Ohio, doing drywall along with others from his employer in North Carolina. The decedent was reportedly last seen around 2300 hours, which is what? That'd be 11 o'clock? 11 p.m.? So yeah, he was last seen around 11 p.m. the previous evening by his roommate. The roommate stated that the decedent and he were sitting around the room drinking beer most of the evening. Around 10 p.m., the decedent went into the bathroom. Around 11 p.m., the roommate went to check on him, and he was slumped over between the bathtub and toilet snoring. The roommate went to bed. At 5 a.m. the next morning, the roommate awoke and discovered the decedent still in the bathroom, not breathing. 911 was called. The decedent was transported to the Butler County morgue. On October 2nd, 2014, an inspection was done by Dr. Joseph Brandebeer, deputy coroner. Also present was coroner investigator Andrew Willis. Quantitative toxicology testing revealed alprazolam, THC, fentanyl, and hydrocodone. The decedent was released to the Revels Funeral Home in Lumberton, North Carolina. So he was at a motel, he was working out of town, but it says the cause of death is toxicity, multiple drugs, including fentanyl and hydrocodone. So like I went over in the first video I did, he tested positive for alcohol, ethanol, THC, fentanyl, morphine, which morphine, the metabolite, that could be from fentanyl, that could be from the hydrocodone, because it metabolates into morphine. Hydrocodone positive, alprazolam, which is Xanax, positive. What else? Opiates positive, which hydrocodone is an opiate. So as far as the alcohol, the level was 0.126 was what he tested for, the amount. And then THC. So for the THC he tested, he had 22 nanograms per milliliter. There's a few other THC levels, but that's obviously not what killed him. So let's look at some of the other stuff. Fentanyl is 3.6 nanograms per milliliter. And then the metabolite, it metabolates into norfentanyl. That's one of the metabolites. And he tested positive for 0.9 nanograms per milliliter of norfentanyl. And then fentanyl quantitative, 4.6 nanograms per milliliter. As far as morphine metabolite, 235 nanograms per milliliter. And then the hydrocodone is 917 nanograms per milliliter. So it says, okay, I looked up what is the high level of fentanyl in the body. It says the estimated lethal dose of fentanyl in humans is 2 milligrams. The recommended serum concentration for analysis is 1 to 2 nanograms per milliliter. So he had 3.6 nanograms per milliliter, and then another metabolite of fentanyl was 4.6 nanograms per milliliter. So he was, he was above the recommended concentration, but it says, and for anesthesia, it is 10 to 20 nanograms. Blood concentrations of approximately 7 nanograms per milliliter or greater have been associated with fatalities where polysubstance use was involved. So he actually didn't have that high of an amount in his body. Huh. That's crazy. So it must have just been the alcohol mixture with the alprazolam and then the hydrocodone on top of it. So all of it mixed together is a deadly combination. Alprazolam mixed with any opiates is really dangerous. And then also alcohol mixed with any opiates could be really dangerous too. So all three of those, yeah. But the fentanyl itself, he doesn't really have a very lethal amount. And the alcohol, that's not very high, 0.126, but mixed with everything, it could be. Let's see what hydrocodone, high level of hydrocodone is to see. So for hydrocodone, okay, so he has 917, I think probably pretty high, but when you build up a tolerance, that probably is normal for him, but mixed with, okay, here we go. So for hydrocodone, the therapeutic level is, and that's usually like what you want to be at for like, that'd be ideal for like pain, Okay, so the therapeutic amount that you want in your system, it would be a safe amount. And it says therapeutic blood and plasma concentrations of hydrocodone typically range from 10 to 50 nanograms per milliliter. And he had 917 of the hydrocodone, and then it metabolizes into morphine, and he had 235 of morphine. So it says levels greater than 100 nanograms per milliliter are considered toxic, and concentrations exceeding 200 can be potentially fatal. And he had 917 nanograms per milliliter. And then another level of hydrocodone is 123 nanograms per milliliter. But you have to remember, though, those levels, that's probably what your levels would be if you took the medicine as prescribed. But when you're an addict, you build up a tolerance. So you're taking way more than what's prescribed. I mean, you could build up a tolerance to 50 to 100 pills a day, and you're not going to die because you build up a tolerance. So it's not that crazy that he had that high levels of hydrocodone. So I'm guessing just that mixture of everything together just had a bad effect. You had alcohol, alprazolam, hydrocodone, and fentanyl all together, which probably doesn't look like they're really high levels. If he was an addict, none of those levels are probably that high, but mixed together sometimes is just, there's no telling. Okay, so let's get to the video that Tecia uploaded to her Facebook. She must have thought it was going to like prove something that she didn't kill Gannon. But it only made her look worse because you could hear Gannon's his pain in his voice. So this was after he supposedly spilled that candle wax, which we think that was like the big thing that tipped Tecia over the edge to kill him. Was the dang, he must have spilled some candle wax or something. Tecia got mad and just went off on him. At least I think that was the start of it. Who knows how it progressed, but here's the video. Well, real quick, the video is not really good. It just concentrate on the audio because it's like she's just like kind of like holding the video down a lot. So, I mean, it's upside down. I mean, it's hard to tell what's going on, but just listen to the audio.
Well, devastating. Initially, Scott, I can't lie, when the TMZ information was
Gannon, I promise this is the last time I'm going to ask you. I'm just freaked out, okay? Are you sure you didn't do it on purpose?
I did it.
Okay, you promise. You promise. On purpose. Pinky promise.
Pinky.
Okay, all right. So listen. We're gonna have to sell stuff to fix it. Okay. So we figure out what we gotta sell. We can sell the sofa. We can sell whatever, because we gotta get it fixed. So, lady, don't be mad at us and kick us out of the house. Okay? You got it?
Sad, huh? Hearing his sad voice. Okay, so next I want to play the surveillance. where the neighbors bring camera caught Letitia and Gannon walking out to the car, and then he never returns home.
That morning when I saw her back the truck up and him get in.
The neighbor of missing 11-year-old Gannon Stauch says this security video shows the boy getting into a red pickup with his stepmother on the day of his disappearance.
My Xfinity camera, it picked it up. It picked up the young lady taking him, well, it picked up him getting into the vehicle and her taking him off about 10:16 that morning.
4 hours later,
and then she returned about 2:16 without him.
Gannon was reported missing by his stepmother later that day. A spokesperson for the El Paso County Sheriff's Department tells ABC News they do not dispute the neighbor's description of that video, but wouldn't comment further today.
What we can let you know is that it is in fact a part of our investigation.
Gannon was first reported missing by his stepmother at 6:55 p.m. She said he was last seen at home between 3:15 and 4. That video of her returning home alone was taken around 2:15.
The timeline in this entire case is going to be looked at.
As for who is being looked at, the Sheriff's Department wouldn't comment on suspects or persons of interest. But the neighbor who took this video spoke to investigators when he gave it to them, who told him this.
What did they say to you when you gave it to them?
They said that information was very important. That's the break they needed.
I'm caught in the middle of the life I lead and the one I need. Caught in the middle, and the waves are crashing over me. There's so many questions, all the answers come in shades of gray. I'm tired of suggestions, I'm longing for a I'm scared, and I need you. Are you there? Can you hear me? Can you help me, please? Can you help me break?